Sonoma County is an amazing place to call home, especially with all of our beautiful landscapes. Unfortunately, as we've all experienced in recent years, lack of fuel management and changing fire behavior has led to an increased risk of wildfire on these landscapes.
So wildland fire behavior is influenced by three environmental elements: the weather, the topography, and the fuels. Of those three, the one we can modify, the one we can change before the next fire is fuels.
Unlike other parts of California, much of Sonoma County's landscape is owned by private landowners, and so it's up to the family, friends, and neighbors to manage the vegetation on these landscapes to reduce fire fuels for the benefit of all. Fortunately, there are a variety of local resources to help private landowners manage their properties and address risks to the community. One of these resources is the University of California Cooperative Extension. The UC Cooperative Extension is a Sonoma County department and an extension of the University of California system. We provide educational and research-based information for Sonoma County residents, especially landowners. We know that fuels that remain unchecked pose a risk to our homes and livelihoods. These poorly managed fuels are what led to catastrophic and deadly wildfires. And, for a variety of reasons, the threat is increasing locally and throughout the West. Fortunately, there are many options for managing fuels on your property. Each method has pros and cons, but ultimately, a landowner must select one or more in order to make a difference when it comes to fire fuel management. And when approaching vegetation management on your property for wildfire risk reduction, it is important to consider all of these tools in your toolbox. These tools include mechanical, biological or grazing, and prescribed fire. Mechanical thinning can be accomplished with machinery or by hand. Depending on the vegetation type and tool selected, this can be a very effective way to manage fuels. It can be costly due to the significant labor required, but can also be done on small scale by a single landowner. Biological control, commonly referred to as grazing, will help clear vegetation and return some of the nutrients to the soil. Using goats, sheep, or cows, or a combination can be a very effective way to clear large swaths of land, particularly where land is too steep for mechanical or too close to urban areas for prescribed fire. Choosing the right grazing system and species will help landowners manage vegetation and achieve their resource goals. Grazing can be costly, but there are different grazing schemes where grazing costs can be shared or even provide an income source for landowners. Resources for landowners on grazing can be found out at match.graze. For larger areas, prescribed fire is often the best choice. It is typically the most cost-effective tool for managing larger landscapes. For many decades, fire was excluded from vast swaths of Sonoma County, so bringing back this good fire is a fantastic way to increase the health of your land while reducing the risk of wildfire. Of course, there are risks associated with prescribed fire as well, but when landowners work with local fire departments, these risks can be largely mitigated. Managing these complex landscapes can be challenging, but it is critical that we all make the effort. The good news is that there are resources available, now more than ever, to Sonoma County landowners. The UC Cooperative Extension is one of the most important resources for Sonoma County landowners. We work directly with landowners and bring together county, state, and federal resources to expand opportunities for vegetation management. We focus on helping landowners assess their properties and achieve these resource goals. To start, we work with landowners to understand landscape attributes and set achievable resource goals. Our local county department can bring together resource professionals from a variety of relevant fields to help landowners plan and execute fuel management projects. From forestry, rangeland, and fire science management, these experts can help landowners determine which tool or combination of tools might be the best option for their properties. One important planning tool is the Wildfire Fuel Mapper web application. Cooperative Extension created the Wildfire Fuel Mapper to provide landowners with a free, powerful tool to help them better understand fire risk, fuels, and other landscape attributes on their properties. Knowing a landscape's feature will assist landowners in developing a plan to achieve their goals, especially as they relate to reducing wildfire risk.
What you do now pays off. It reduces the losses, could save your life, and it makes my job easier as a firefighter. So the more we can do ahead of time, the more effective we're going to be, and most importantly, the more effective we're going to be when we have these catastrophic weather events.
We can also help connect landowners to funding. There are a variety of financial resources, and the Cooperative Extension can provide guidance towards successful funding. For more information about fuel management techniques, options for funding, or to speak with a local expert, contact the Sonoma County UC Cooperative Extension Office.